Hello everyone, I'm OracleUnicorn and welcome to Shaman Messages. Please keep in mind this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Put some things in your back pocket, you never know, you might need it for later. Be sure to check your moon, rising, and Venus signs as my videos do cross-connect. There may be some messages in this video that will help you correspond certain messages that cross-connect with each other from one video to another. That'll really help you possibly to see more perspectives and views in different ways to help you create more of a decision for yourself. Seeing different aspects from kind of like different perspectives within that zodiac and their message for them. It cross connects, basically. So this is a weekly reading for Aries, but do keep in mind these are not date or time specific. Whenever you are led to click on this video, it's when it was meant for you. Alright? So Aries, what other messages do you have for Aries? Oh, and please excuse the background. Kids. Alright. Aries. Oh, and if it sounds like the role is reversed, then it'd be like me talking to you about a situation and I'm actually talking about the other person within the situation. Take it how it resonates. Leave the rest, put some things in your back pocket because you never know what you need for later. That'll help you. Especially when it comes to new downloads. I find that happen to me all the time. Alright. Alright. This is my shaman deck. I like to clarify with this deck. This is the tarot and that's the oracle. Like spirit? Okay. The spirit animals oracle. I really love those ones. They're really cool. So Aries, one of the biggest messages that I see overall within the layout that's already here, because the story does shift a little bit when I add more cards. Sometimes I'm led to give a message before I lay out the other decks, and sometimes it's after the other decks. But for you, it's saying to really know in yourself that you can overcome any obstacle before you that is necessarily training you and teaching you in little areas that's going to help you further on in your progress within the direction of your own personal calling that gives you fulfillment within yourself. And to stay loyal to it, because you do have the dog as the law energy. So do stay loyal to it because wishes can come true and pigs can fly at times. So when it comes to really feeling and seeing the 5D world, we all know there's times when, like, you know, that saying, yeah, when pigs fly, well, pigs really do fly sometimes in our world, apparently. Like, some things we never thought would happen is actually end up happening right before your eyes. And it's, it also is a devising, because here is the card, the rhinoceros spirit. And I wrote, know in yourself you can overcome any obstacle and overcome any obstacles down there at the bottom. So that's really cool. And to clarify that is cross-clarified with learn from the past, is everything is all good. And this is shamanic healing oracle cards. So these are pretty cool cards. I really love these cards. And you have the lizard spirit here, dream the world into being, and I feel going towards what you're really passionate about. You're going into the strong energy of laying a foundation with what you really love to do, be loyal to what you love, is what the dog spirit says, and dream the world into being. And I see that as your own personal emotional world that brings you harmony, joy, gets you kind of like out of the bed in the morning, really enjoying every little inch of your journey and where it's taking you to, because you have also nothing is wasted. And this is the vulture spirit. Nothing that you do, even the smallest like flip, and trust in it, because this card did flip over. And you can't see that, but this card did flip over, and to know that nothing is wasted, and the fact that that card accidentally flipped over, like, really enhances the vibrational meaning behind nothing is wasted, because I wouldn't have brought in more meaning to this card if it hadn't have been for the fact that it flipped over, kind of like initiating me to want to talk about that card more. And you got 6 plus 3, because 63 is the number of the cards. You got the number 8. So that's coming into extreme conclusions into certain things and coming full circle, and to gain the understanding and wisdom behind the little things that you do in here that you thought like really didn't make much of an impact. And all those little things are building itself up to be the biggest impact of your own like calling towards path, okay? And that's why I feel this is why you have the laying the foundation with the beaver spirit, is because of the fact that you are coming into awareness and vision of seeing how those little baby like rocks that you put here and there are laying a stronger foundation than overly exerting yourself on the bigger aspects of creating the foundation. Wow. You even have balance. You have the balance card. That's really good. Like, from also learning from the past. So with you healing and learning from all these things of the past that you have taken rest, freed yourself from things that really holds you back or makes you look kind of like negatively upon yourself, you've really taken the rest to be able to hone in and harmonize your balance within your own intelligence, drive, and emotional value within yourself, okay? So, and that's why I feel it's also clarifying the horse spirit, which is freedom is yours. You are laying the foundation to fully embrace the freedom that which is yours through a lot of conclusions and connections with leveling up of the harmonizing balance between your ways of thinking and viewing and perspective upon things, with how you feel when it comes to your heart and what is initiating you when it comes to your intuition. So it's really taking all of that into a harmonizing balance. I know I keep saying that, but that's what I keep hearing, is you're harmonizing the balance from the issues of your past, okay? And it's really amazing because it reminds me of the Lover's card. Because you have the two serpents here, you know, kind of like the good aspect and the, you know, the darker aspect into things, but going around a tree, which is the purity aspect into things, the healing also, because trees give us healing and we coexist with each other because they breathe what we breathe out and we breathe in what they breathe out, right? So I feel like you're coming into that triple balance within it. And it's leveling things within yourself first, showing you the foundation to bring things to a higher level that is more wish fulfillment than you thought was possible to receive, in a way, okay, Aries? And you're getting messages about this, fast messages, because you, okay, let me lay this out. Okay. Good deal, Aries. Wow. Okay. Okay. There's certain things that were very emotionally fulfilling that you have had patience for, I feel, for quite some time. quite a long time. Some of you, it's been years working through this and having to have the faith and the trust in everything that it's going to lay out just as it needs to lay out, which maybe get that one card before I forget. Okay. Which comes into knowing yourself. You can do within this direction and what you truly actually want from the heart and what you really want to feel and see in what that emotional fulfillment that 10 of Cups truly is for you. Not just something that you thought you wanted and then you're not going to want it anymore, okay? And that's what the past is teaching you, and that's what it's harmonizing you with. Showing you, yes, what you don't want, but at the same time, what do you want as an aspect within a collaboration? Because you do have the collaboration card here with the 2 of Arrows, which is like decision making usually. So I feel as if you're going inward, because even though she does have her eyes covered, like usually the traditional 2 of Swords usually have. But you're getting a lot of strong messages inwardly and downloads intellectually of the weave that's going on in your own emotional direction that feels true to you, okay? And you are leveling out the scales within yourself, okay? And that's what learning from your past and creating harmony within yourself is actually doing for you. And that is what's going to turn this 2 of Vessels. I'm really feeling as if this is with yourself, you're going to do this, and then it's going to happen with someone else, okay? So even though I feel as if this is kind of working itself sideways within yourself, but once this turns this way, because you mirror it out of yourself kind of in a way, for yourself, with yourself, without really having to, gain kind of like confirmation from other things. Yeah, card readings is cool and all, but like confirmation from inside your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just that this is giving you confirmation or messages from animals is giving you confirmation, but you like feel it. Feel the confirmation inside of you. And that's when this will turn bright side up. And not only does that happen within you, it will then happen outside of you, because it truly happened in its own balancing act, emotionally, mentally, and understandingly, bringing you to the wisdom state that it's like bringing you to, because it's cross-connected with this, and freedom is yours. So for some of you, you're still in that resting period of balancing it out within yourself and knowing that you can be fully comfortable in yourself without having to feel as if you have to impress people or be what other people want you to be just to feel accepted type of thing. You're totally like being like, okay, yeah, no, that's at the end of it, and you're resting into what it is that you truly want to walk within yourself and allowing the time to have its time to not just like reprogram it inside yourself, but reprogram it kind of like within your own journey in a way, okay? And that's where I feel why you have the time to heal. And I feel as if you're shedding your skin of how you truly used to envision the unity within your own self of like your mind, your heart, and your intuition, which is your connection with the spirituality of yourself, your emotional value, and what you want to acquire in life, and knowing you're worthy of what you want to acquire in your life, okay? And I mean, right here clarifies that this is perception. So the perception is healing. Some may be going to be going through a mourning, an emotional mourning. Some of them, like I went through it vaguely a little bit within myself in the car, and a little bit while I was at my family's house. And it was a little bit of hurt, but it was like a healing hurt. It was really interesting. Like when you come into full understanding and collaboration as to why some people are the way they are, and kind of are the way they are with you in a distant kind of factor, kind of make you feel like you did something, or that you don't understand like what you did or what you're not doing to like, be comfortable around those people, and they're your family. So it's like not supposed to be that like uncomfortable, and like feel a little bit weird. And some people like kind of feel as if, oh, okay, maybe I'm just overthinking that. But like when you're an empath and you can really feel that off of someone, it's like, no, I can't lie to myself about this. Like, how do I sit with this? How do I really like allow myself to like face this and actually turn it into its own healing and truth? Ace of Swords. Do you cut your own truth inside of yourself? And really literally shifted this card. I feel what happened with this card, because this is my Dark Knight of the Soul card. This is when you go through something extremely deep like that can really throw you into a Nine of Swords and cause a lot of mental anguish and cause a lot of heartache. And something like that could have really caused a lot of heartache on me if I really didn't have the full functional understanding as to why they are being the way they are with that kind of distance, because they don't really know how to handle someone like me, or how to praise someone like me, because of how differently I go about my life and how differently I do things and how different that I am. So it makes it very hard for them. And I'm like, I gain an understanding out of it, and it really doesn't cause me as much of pain, but it really brings me a lot of wisdom within my own self, and harmonize and remember with myself, you know what, I love the way I am. I'm the one that have to live with who I am. So hey, as long as I'm all right with it. And so it turns this literally upside down, and it came out upside down. And I feel that's what this is bringing into play, is the reunion of the souls. There's a little bit of a challenge back here behind it. It is upside down, but I feel as if it's being like the challenge is going to come into play once the reunion kind of like happens, or the challenge is in play and then the reunion happens. And that's why I feel like those cards are in play the way they are. All right, Aries. What I feel when it comes to this is it's going to take a lot of patience with yourself and trying to figure out the meaning within your heart and why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and the meaning behind what you're being leveled up with when it comes to other people, and how maybe they react with you, and what level they may be on, as to why it feels maybe different, why it feels off, why it feels a little held back, and you'll gain more of a sense of understanding as to why, when you allow yourself to become more in the hermit stage about it, than to kind of like go up to them and be like, well, do you have a problem with me or something like that? And then they're just like, no, 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 no. And it's like, well, take it from their perspective in a way, because they really, to a point, don't know why. And you've gotten to the full awareness of understanding as to being able to see why, and that's a beautiful gift. That's a really amazing gift, to be able to bring things full circle like that and heal yourself in the midst of a situation like that. That is really good for those of you that really hits home and resonation on this, because like I just went through it myself, and it is one of the biggest freeing yourself energies, that if you learn how to do this in a very harmonizing understanding and observance with yourself, it really brings a lot of people home with their own self, with their selves too, because it brings acceptance and differences. So yeah, so let's bring in the energies of the moon. I get so deep. Okay, what other messages do we have for Aries? Aries. Yeah, they kind of feel like a little offsetting about the fact that, like, I want to be a YouTuber, a card reader YouTuber at that, and they're just like, oh, you gotta get a regular job. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been down that road. Yeah, I've been down that road. Okay, Aries. Oh, and look at that. Look at the card we got. Self-acceptance. That's that's spot on with self-reflection. That's why I put self acceptance on top of self-reflection, because it is literally looking at your own reflection of yourself, of the things that you may say, how you say them, and at the way you use your words, and is it uplifting, is it like, easing someone's anxiety than to make it more anxiety filled. I feel like it's something, it's really cool, because I've noticed with some people, if they're closer to me from knowing me like over 10 years ago, I give them a lot of anxiety. Now, when it comes to usually people that don't really know me and then just kind of go off by how they, like, how I feel, my energy, my aura energy, how it feels to them, it's almost like they're amazed. Like they're like, where the hell did you just come from? Are you even real? Like, because some of the way that I approach them, and I'll listen to them, and they'll just be going off, and I'll just be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I just be listening, and it's so amusing to me sometimes. And I swear, some of them are just like, "You're an angel," and I was just like, "Yeah, okay, I wouldn't go that far, but I do go by unicorn." Oh man, it's great. So that's that self reflection. Like when I look at myself kind of in a vision, which is like looking at myself in a mirror, but a playback mirror basically. And I'm just like, you know what, like I'm amazing. Like I'm so cool. Like I did amazing things for someone. Like I didn't have money. I wanted to give them something, buy them something from the store or something. And I didn't have money, so I was like, here you go, I'll give you my time. Like I'll sit here and I will listen to you. And it was someone homeless by the way. So it's amazing. Some of the things that like I listen to that come from some of the most different people, and I'm just like, wow, this is intense. And I start seeing more perspectives, more views, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of like being able to lay this out for people, and like projecting a spider web out for people about like literally what they can see within themselves. It's just literally being aware to it, but be careful, because you can overthink to a point, but at the same time, as long as you, I mean, this is fun for me to do this. You don't have to learn the weave to be able to get to your 10 of cups. You really don't. You just have to flow and accept and follow within your own emotions into the direction where you're being pulled towards. And whatever obstacle comes before your way and what you want to do, you just kind of keep going. You just kind of keep doing it, and then it just kind of flows with it. Just like you flowing with it, especially when it comes to me, when I really don't stay at one place very long. I move around because I don't really have a 9 to 5 job. I have a hard time keeping a 9 to 5 job. I like emotionally break down. Like I've emotionally break down in my videos before too. I've been doing this for a freaking year. So I have a hard time keeping, they're like, oh, we can't have you crying. And I was like, I know. I know. But I need a job. Apparently. Okay, let's get back to your reading, Aries. Thank you for listening, though. Meditate and contemplate. That's really looking inside your own emotions, and to not feel so, not allow yourself to be wrapped up basically in fear, because knowing that the universe has your back. The whatever it is that you may believe has your back. And the most interesting way, from what I've realized, that yeah, you may go through bad times, but those bad times are actually helping you and shaping you into what you want as your 10 of cups. So if you're a complicated person and you like kind of being able to read the spider web, you're going to have have a little bit of more times and issues and obstacles just to teach you certain things about certain things, and going through door this way, going through door that way, and going through door that way, to be able to get that 10 of cups because you had to get these keys to get to that door, and you're the one that wanted that door. I was like, what? When I started computing all this in my mind, I was like, that makes sense. And the only reason I was able to compute all this stuff in my mind was because of video games. And how I didn't figure this out earlier, because I've always loved watching people play video games. It's like a never-ending movie, a movie that doesn't stop if you really like it, like Last of Us. I thought that was amazing. It had a beautiful storyline behind it. It was like a never-ending movie. It was like watching a TV show. And I was just like, yeah, that's awesome. I can't play video games worth nothing. I'll tell you what. I'll watch them, I won't play them. And my son tries to get me to do it, and I'm like, no, mommy, don't play. I'll watch you and I'll comment on it, but I won't play. And we have longing. Going emotionally within and collaborating with yourself and what you have around you that can bring you closer, and assessing and seeing what it is that your true 10 of cups is. And what are those baby steps to that 10 of cups? What does it look like? What would it feel like? What would you have to do baby steps into be able to get it to that direction? Like, the first thing I need to keep pushing my 10 of cups into its own direction is at least make sure somehow I'm staying in my kids' lives. And then at least somehow making sure I at least get videos done. I mean, it was like, just getting videos recorded and actually uploaded. Now it's like making sure I can go live, like wherever I am, whatever I do, I have to go live, and I have to be around my kids, and whatever anything else, it just kind of comes in, or it doesn't come in, and I just wait and have more patience. So it's like, that's the assessment behind it. Now it's like, you really don't have to pay attention to too much, but just enough to be able to see what direction is really needed in the minute baby steps of what you're going for, okay? Because if you worry too much about the bigger picture of it, or the axis, or how this is going to come in, worry about right now what you can put your energy into towards that direction, and then your energy will eventually have to go into more towards that direction, because then more is presented to you. You know how hard it was to be able to put that together in a way to where, like, my mind was able to see it as like an actual functioning reality? It was very hard. I had a longing to figure it out. And then figuring out the collaboration. I don't really know the collaboration yet. I don't really know how to be able to get over, I don't know how many subscribers. I don't know how to do that yet. All I know is how to baby step my way into this, make sure I do videos, make sure I have some cards, make sure I have some energy to be able to sit here and go, and wondering how I'm even gonna, what I can say and what I can't say. Like, and what I can do and what I can't do. I was like, we are free to create something, right? Okay, cool. So we'll create it. And then the unexpected happens. Create the idea. Make decisions up into it. Even if it's just baby steps. Or if you need a car to be able to do what it is you want to do, what part of it that you can practice right now as baby steps towards it? What energy can you put towards it right now to gain a momentum of energy, of your direction and your focus that you're going towards into an unexpected event that's brought to you because of your practice and energy focus still towards that direction, and it's not focused here or focused here, and then when I have time I'll focus it in here. That's honestly one of the biggest differences that I literally see. And when it comes to really acquiring the full-blown 10 of cups, because that's my journey. I want to teach how to achieve the full-blown 10 of cups, what my vision is of it, how I'm getting there, what baby steps I'm getting there to do so. and what my growth is on the way, and how I figured out to the point of this growth that has been able to shift my perspective and maybe viewings upon things, that has been able to put more focus and direction into being able to acquire what it is my own Ten of Cups is. And so this is why I'm doing this. So assessing, back to the card, assessing what it is, bringing full truth with yourself, what it is, knowing in yourself you can overcome any obstacle that is shaping you, making you more perfect for your own Ten of Cups. So when they say like, oh, maybe you're just not ready, or you're going through some more things when it comes to being with your counterpart, well, maybe you're being shifted just a little more for you, for the union to be harmonized, okay? Because what they usually say is you don't want, like, the other person to be unharmonized while you're bringing full harmony into, trying to bring full harmony into a connection. You can't just force this person to be full harmony for there to be a full collaboration of harmony, okay? And so that's what I'm thinking, that is the signature reason as to why maybe some of the forever partners, because that's what I'm going to call them, because this whole soulmate twin flame thing has got me all confused. So forever partners are like, I feel that a lot of them know each other. I feel a lot of them are really not on too much speaking terms, or some of them are on very little speaking terms. But it's because y'all are still getting through some of the muck that would be extremely detrimental, could be hurting towards the other person. But also, usually there's a lot of mirroring aspects going on. So whatever you're going through, that person is probably going through it as well. I haven't fully gotten the clarifications on that yet, but I will be. Oh, I mean, I'm going to get my forever person, so I'm going to get some of these clarifications soon enough, It's like, I'm going to get my forever person, so I know I'm going to be able to talk about this. I think one of the things that would be really cool about it, like when I get a when I finally get together with my forever person, I would love for them to be like on camera with me. I would love for us to just like look at these cards and like play back and forth on each other. That would be some like crazy like bombing stuff, because we can get the feminine aspect and then we can get also the male aspect into it. I probably gave away a lot of secrets about that. There's probably going to be other people doing it, but I still wanted to put that out there. So yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, please sharing on social media. You never know who else that's going to see this reading. It may really be able to help them. Please like and subscribe. Subscribing greatly improves my channel. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to go live on my phone instead of using someone else's laptop. So that is the next goal that I'm working on towards improving my life career, pretty much. I really think it's going to be mainly being a YouTuber than it is card readings. I feel card readings will be a lot of my like grounding aspect of a lot of things that I want to turn my channel into. But in due time, right? All right. So love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Bye.